All right, welcome everyone. Blaze Thomas, Chief Meteorologist
Hello.
Dan Scoff in the Weather Lab. And Blaze, we've been watching this system for the last several days.
We have.
We are getting closer to this system moving in. Now, here's the deal. We're not trying to scare you. We're providing this live stream to make you prepared. With some production quality. We're trying to make it look as good as possible. Looks like we got a rundown here. This is what we do on our newscast, in case you're wondering.
Yep.
You can see all the information. Each one of those things are stacked from the producers. But we want to give you all the information that you need to know before you go to bed tonight, or maybe you're already in bed and you're kind of snuggled up waiting for this live update. Let's get right to it. We don't want to waste people's time. Blaze, what do you think of the big takeaways from this system? What do you think people need to be watching for?
We're going to be watching for the morning storms, because I think if we see a lot of storms in the morning, then our severe weather threat for the afternoon may start to decrease. If we don't see a lot of storms in the morning, then I do think the threat in the afternoon would definitely be increasing.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. And I think some of the latest models are starting to trend up on that severe weather potential. So we do have some comments that are coming in, and let's go ahead and we'll answer some of these, because we really didn't get to answer a lot of them. And I know earlier people were asking about school.
Yeah, there was several people jumping in here asking about, how the schools would handle things, and
they have a severe weather plan. They have done practice tornado drills. The kids know where to go. They know where to seek shelter. Here's the deal. You're actually, I do believe, safer sheltering in the school than driving around out in the middle of nowhere where, you could run into a traffic jam.
Right.
Then you're susceptible to possibly being, maybe impacted by a storm, whether it be a tornado or not, and you're out in it instead of hunkering down and sheltering. So the schools will tell you about that. I will say, unfortunately, the timing of this threat is definitely during school timing, and not only that, right when the schools are being let out.
Yeah.
Not a good time. So anyways, Kendall says, yes, I've been waiting. I know it's been a little while. Here's the deal. We got a lot of stuff behind the scenes that we have to do to prepare for severe weather. Number one, this is our first real deal severe weather potential since we have developed the Weather Lab. A lot of kinks to work out, a lot of wrinkles to iron out. And not only that, a lot of things with new producers. We've got new directors in order to make this all work like a well-oiled machine.
New cameras, too.
New cameras. New people in the Weather Lab.
That's true.
As Josh will be here tomorrow as well. We'll be covering all this. So Mason says, ready for an in-depth discussion. We are going to get to it. And then says, watch from Siloam Springs. Now, before you ask about specific towns, specific locations, I know, Blaze, we can't predict what storm is going to hit what city. Or if there's even going to be tornadoes tomorrow. I think the chance of that is definitely there. There's always things that can weaken the storm and tell you what's going on. All right, enough of that. Let's talk about some of the risks. And first of all, what we're going to do is we're going to bring up our Weather One source. We call it Max One. And so this is the HRRR model. And you can kind of see us in the background. We've got this pulled up full. Notice how we have two different types of banners.
Still got that comment on.
Oh, yeah, we'll get the comment off. Thank you for recognizing that. So watching for Siloam Springs. Let's remove all the comments off of there so you can know. And you can just talk to me, too. I'm right here next to you. They could hear that, by the way. These microphones pick up everything now. Let's take a look here. Again, we've got this full screen on the future track, and you'll see here overnight tonight, storms remain to the northwest of us. But by about 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, rumbles of thunder distant off in the distance. And look at this big cluster of storms coming through right around 11 o'clock in the morning, and maybe even a little before that. Now, this is something interesting. And this is the extended one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this isn't going to be the hourly update, but you'll notice here, this shows a lot of cloud cover and rain at 1:30, 2 o'clock, and it looks like it's over northwest Arkansas. Let me bring this up full. I'll point out some things with this just to show you. So let me show you this as we look at on Weather One. See this? This is all thunderstorms right here. And these thunderstorms are sapping the instability over northwest Arkansas. However, that might not necessarily be the case. Yeah, we'll bring that up so you can see that in full screen. Because if we look at and I do believe, do you have the short-term HRRR on your show? Doesn't look like you do. So here's what I'm going to do. Watch this.
You can pull it from yours.
I'm going to pull it. I'm going to add it to yours. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you the difference between a forecast that's updated every 6 hours and a forecast that's updated every hour. So this is I guess we don't have it, huh? Do we not have a short term?
I guess not.
Okay. Well, with that being said, here's what we're going to do. We're going to show you this. So you saw the extended outlook and how it had a lot of storms 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So this is a different model that runs every hour, and maybe this changed in the time that we were watching. So notice, first of all, how much storm activity comes in. This is a pretty mean cluster of storms that's going to be developing. So Reed Timmer said he's going to be near Mountain Home. Is that what he said?
He did, but
Yeah.
I think I saw something on Facebook where he's also got an event in the Mountain Home area.
So here's the deal. He's probably, pulling a little pulling a fast one on a lot of people that are watching, because I know he does like to storm chase. At the same time, doesn't reveal his location,
Right?
Because there's too many people that follow him,
Right.
Cause traffic jams, and it's just like kind of a little bit frustrating. So he might say, "Hey, I'm going to Mountain Home," and instead he's down in Fort Smith.
That's true. You never know.
Pulling a fast one. So this is a look at the future track here, and you're going to notice, watch what happens. Rapid destabilization. Look at that. At noon, we could have a break in the storms, total clearing.
And that's not what we want to see.
No.
We want to see more storms. Yes, it will interfere with any plans you have, but you want morning storms.
And you want them to continue basically all day. Why is that? Well, think about it this way. You're boiling water in a pot.
Mm-hmm.
What happens when you throw the macaroni and cheese in there? The water stops boiling for a little while.
Right.
That's because you're adding an ingredient such as more thunderstorms. And then when you have more thunderstorms in the area, that's cooling off the temperatures. Therefore, the water's cooling off.
Right.
So
you're making me just a tad bit hungry.
That's a good analogy right there. I know I am. I just ate my dinner right in the middle of the 9 and 10 o'clock to weather. But, here's what I can do. I'll show you this as we bring this up full. And you'll notice here on the future track, there's the storms rolling in now. This is something new. This is a brand new one that we haven't even seen. So what does that look like in terms of some of the ingredients? It looks like you don't have any of the parameters, do you?
No.
We got to add that to your show, Blaze. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to show you this on the max updraft helicity. So this is the very most recent one. And I'm going to come over here. We're going to bring this up on weather 2. And so earlier it was showing a pretty substantial supercell track right through northern Washington County. And look, it doesn't even exist now. However, look at that. By 3, 4 o'clock, now it's even more delayed. Let me show you how things can change. And this is what Blaze and I were talking about, how it's amazing how fast a model will change in terms of, its output. 1 hour it'll show something. The next hour it doesn't show anything. Let me go to the 2Z here, and we'll see if it has that isolated supercell coming through northern Washington County. So there it is right there. This was the previous model run, and you can see that coming right through basically southern Benton and northern Washington County. Now, again, 1 hour later, you look at the track when the model updates, and it's completely gone. So that shows you can't look at one model run and say this is exactly what's going to happen.
Right.
But you can look at the trends. And I will say this, the trends, Blaze, and you've been mentioning it, they've been upticking in terms of the severe weather potential for Northwest Arkansas.
I think we're going to see less storms in the morning. And I think we're going to see a lot of rapid destabilization taking place.
So what does that do? Well, we mentioned it. The more fuel you have, the stronger the storms will be. Right. So if we go back to that rain and the Cape and stuff like that, and we'll take a look here at Max 1. So this says the instability overlaid or underlaid with the reflectivity, meaning the future radar. And you can see how, first of all, even if there are storms in Northwest Arkansas, people are watching in the river valley, there could be some really nasty storms in the river valley. And look at how warm it is, and that instability. And look, those are lines of storms. So basically, maybe a line of supercells that's coming through. And you can see how that continues all the way through about 9-10 o'clock in the evening. So if we're talking timing, what timing do you need to be aware for these storms? Here's a look at the 2-day forecast for precipitation. So you can see that area showing up with the round of storms in the morning, followed by the additional round of storms during the afternoon. So that's Northwest Arkansas. Now remember, that clearing was a little more substantial, and the lack of storms in the river valley was a little more. And therefore, if we look at the precipitation for the river valley, you will notice that that timing is going to be a little bit later, and that makes sense. Now, Blaze, how difficult was it to make this this forecast here for
oh my goodness,
for the hourly?
The timing, it's just, that's one of those things. I love meteorology. I love the weather. The timing of storms, that's where it's rough.
Now you really get to see that too and
You do.
experience that from a viewer standpoint. Because
what's cool is, though, since we do enter this data manually, when you go to our weather app, you're not getting information from a computer model. You're getting it from us.
yeah,
So,
there's not many people that do that.
No.
They don't adjust
most
it.
everything's
If you're
automatic.
seeing percentages of like 43% and then 67% and
Yeah.
all that stuff, come on. Are you really going to get it that right?
Right.
Probably not. But just to sum up again, you've got in the river valley the round of storms in the morning, and maybe honestly this could be a little overdone. Honestly, looking at this, Blaze,
It might be a little bit.
I think it's
especially-
overdone because the cluster of storms may be only impacting Northwest Arkansas. Then, as we go throughout Tuesday afternoon into the evening, that's when I think that storm chance will ramp up. Notice how it sticks around a little longer. In fact, check this out. We can do a comparison. So this is kind of cool, something that we have the ability to do. I will bring up Northwest Arkansas side and the River Valley side, and we'll take a look at that. And as we're doing that, we'll be able to bring up some comments on here. So let's do this. Let's do Max 1 and Max 2, put them right by side each other. And so you'll get to see here, as we look at the precipitation, some of these things have been a little slow to load, to say the least. There we go.
Just a little bit.
So now you get to see the left side is the River Valley, the right side is Northwest Arkansas. If you're looking at this, this is where that precipitation winds down a little bit quicker in Northwest Arkansas. That makes sense because the frontal boundary comes through, but then that River Valley is a little bit longer, all the way through about 11 o'clock. So you can get to see the difference right there. Perfect example. Cool. Love that. So let's go ahead and we'll answer some questions, and then I'll be able to show you some more stuff. So Brandon says the new weather lab is looking great. So thank you so much for that. Appreciate that. Okay, this is a great question, Brittany, and I do believe I have the answer for this. This is a question such as, will they upgrade this to an enhanced risk?
I would say yes.
I believe so too. Just because looking at the latest, now I don't think it will be for all of Northwest Arkansas.
Right.
I think the enhanced risk, if we go to the risk, and we never even shown that yet because we were just doing all this stuff, we do have a risk overnight tonight.
We do.
And that risk actually clips Delaware County with a low-end tornado potential. So this cluster that's coming in will need to be watched. Let's bring this up on Max 2 so you can get to see. So this is the overlying severe weather risk. It's a level 2 and a level 1 in southwest Missouri. This goes from 7 a.m. to about 11 p.m., I would say, is the timing. You already saw the chance for storms. Hazards, obviously a few tornadoes. Some of those could be on the strong side, Blaze. And then we have that potential for, as you see, large hail up to golf ball size and damaging winds up to 70 miles per hour. If we look at the individual threats for these storms, they're basically all on the table.
Yes.
So what are some things the takeaways that you think people really need to watch for this system?
Well, I think number one is have a way of getting warnings. We haven't had a legitimate severe weather threat in a while. It's been a while.
Say that again.
And so legit.
No, the other word.
Legitimate.
No, not that one. Starts with S.
I know.
What did you say? Say it. You got it.
Severe.
Yes, severe.
Oh my goodness.
Severe.
So we haven't had one of those threats in a while. And so it's very important that you have a way of getting warnings. Download our app. Stay informed. Have multiple ways of getting warnings, not just one. Because, if the internet goes down, what are you going to do? Your phone's not going to work.
Yeah.
So, and that's why we got that weather call next gen, because it can call your landline phone.
And that is really important for landlines. We'll bring this back up again as you're talking about that, just so you don't see a camera covering up. Obviously, the damaging wind threat's everywhere.
Right.
The severe threat is definitely there. It's okay. Sometimes there's habits you got to break. So
I think, I don't know.
I wonder where it comes from.
I don't know.
Yeah. But it is severe.
Severe.
No severe.
Severe. Severe.
But there's a couple of tornadoes that could be strong, and that could be in the northwest Arkansas area. Notice how that threat extends all the way to the north. So let me go back to the day one convective outlook, which is about to expire at 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. Now, this has been upgraded, as you can see. And, as a matter of fact, we're going to do something pretty cool that we can do now on the live stream. You want to see this?
Do it.
Yeah. All right. So I'm walking back into the control room, and this is something that's going to be pretty cool, where I'll literally be able to show the graphics on the wall like I was doing a newscast. So this is something that's pretty special. And I'll break down all the timing. And as I'm doing that, Blaze, you'll be able to monitor comments and check this out. So look at this. Here I am in front of the weather wall, and you can bring that up on PCR.
Yep.
And then you'll be able to see me. Here I am. Look, it popped up on the screen. So here's the severe weather risk with a couple of storms possible tonight through about 7 o'clock in the morning. Here you see the slight risk. This has expanded southeast a little bit more. It's a level 1 out of 5 over our area, which isn't obviously very significant. However, the problem is as we go into the day tomorrow, that's when the upper level energy really moves in. And we'll break all that down for you coming up in just a bit. This is the key underlying factor to the entire forecast, Blaze. It's the position of the warm front. Right now, you step out the door, you can feel the mugginess, you can feel the humidity, and that front is slowly lifting northward. Now, check this out. You can actually see the wind streams on here. There's the frontal position. So the storms in the morning hours are going to be a little bit north of that warm front. So that means you don't get all the ingredients for tornadoes and upper level spin and shear. There you have the low level winds that are starting to increase. At the same time, though, you've got a big cluster of storms that's going to be moving in. Look at the temperatures, too. This is where you don't have that daytime heating kicking in entirely. Now, that front will be lifting northward, and it gets closer and closer. So as we go throughout the morning tomorrow, 10, 11, noon, you're going to see those thunderstorms continuing. But look at this. Whoa, a break in the action. And look at the temperatures, how rapidly we warm into the lower 80s. Now look at the river valley. Fort Smith at 87, you got 71 in Anderson. So I will say this, the farther north you live, such as southwest Missouri, northern sections of northwest Arkansas, you will not see as much severe weather in terms of tornadic activity. And in fact, if a watch does get issued, which I fully expect a tornado watch to be issued tomorrow, I think it's going to include Washington, Madison, Newton County, but the northern counties and southwest Missouri especially, I don't think will be included. What do you think about that, Blaze?
Yeah, I think so. I think that warm front, you've nailed it, the exact location that it will set up at.
Now, something else to notice is that this model is trying to develop a little meso-low. See the low pressure system right there?
Yep.
That's kind of churning just a little bit south of the warm front. So that front, according to this model, look at the difference here. I want to go back to that. That's pretty incredible. So one model updates every hour. It gets new information. It can flip-flop like pancakes on a Sunday morning. We'll, again, go to that 2 o'clock time frame. So look at the temperatures, 80, 80, 78. This is the latest trends, getting warmer during the afternoon. Now we'll go to a forecast that was made about 4 hours ago, a 0Z, and look at how much cooler it is. Same time, look at the difference. Wow.
That's a huge difference.
That's a dramatic difference. So if you saw the model from before, that was a more recent one that shows a lot warmer conditions. And that's what we don't want to see for severe weather potential.
And that's why that threat, we do believe, is increasing some for
Yes.
tomorrow.
Oh, I do. I agree with it. I think it is increasing. I don't exactly know where those rotation tracks will be because obviously you're getting too far out. But look at this, 90 in Fort Smith, a lot of fuel for these storms. Meanwhile, in Northwest Arkansas, you're in the lower 70s. So the warmer air is going to be where the fuel is for those storms. And then look at it really ripping through. This is the upper level energy. I'll be able to show you that too. But this is the risk for the tornado potential. And I do believe, me personally, you're going to see a yellow shade tomorrow.
Yep.
It might not be at 1 o'clock in the morning because they still have to figure out where this morning convection is going to be and how extensive it is and how long it's going to last. But we're looking at 3 to 10 o'clock in the evening as the main time frame for these storms. Could include Northwest Arkansas. Notice how the low threat. So I personally believe if I were to draw, and let's go ahead and we'll do this, Blaze. I'm going to draw where I believe the enhanced risk is going to be tomorrow. What do you think?
Go for it.
All right. And then I'll let you draw where you think the enhanced risk is going to be.
No.
And then I said no quizzes, right?
No quizzes, yeah.
So me personally.
Can I just say, like, I agree with
Yeah.
you? I'll just
Okay.
say I agree.
You'll agree to disagree or no?
No, I'm just going to
okay.
agree.
I personally think, according to the latest, that we are going to see the enhanced risk, I would say, with a 10% would be like that. That's what I believe.
Okay.
10%. And I also think that hatched area will be focused in the river valley. I don't know if the hatched area will come all the way into Northwest Arkansas. They can differentiate where the hatched area is. But if that latest computer model run shows up, then, then we aren't going to see that. Now, Alex Hall is mentioning.
What's he saying?
Right here. I don't like the 3ZHRRR is about done. Don't like the trend. So, Alex, is it the trend worse or less? Are we still in the 8 out of 10? She asked me that. I do believe yes. And on a scale of 1 to 10 being 10 really, really, really concerned to 1 not being concerned at all, I think it's going to be focused in the river valley. I really do. Oh, okay. There you go. Alex says worse. Big time supercells.
Uh-oh.
That's funny. I wish it could go that way, Brandon. Just, hey, just crop out what you want and what you don't want to see. But yeah, the boundary looks to be the player. So we're going to bring that up, and we can share that too, that information. No, nothing was ever a 10 out of 10. I would say a 9 out of 10 for, May 26th.
It does look like the newest computer model. Yeah, I see what Alex is talking about.
Okay, we'll show you that. We'll bring that up here in just a bit. But let's take a look at the significant storm track. So the spin in the atmosphere. Now, keep in mind, this is updated, and we'll get to see the latest one. Look at all those storms, and that's a lot farther north. So that boundary could be lifting farther north. We already went through that. Notice the temperature is not quite as warm in Northwest Arkansas. I still think we get to 80. It shows up in between hours, Blaze, as we don't really have 80 on there. But River Valley, those storms lasting a little bit longer. This is what I wanted to show and get to. And look at how the temperature is warm. So nice right now. There's absolutely nothing going on. But look at these dew points. You've got lower to middle 70s. Now, 77 in Stigler, I don't believe that because that's always high. That always shows like nearly 80-degree dew points, even on a 40-degree dew point day. But look at this. You've got mid-70s at the regional airport in Fort Smith. I believe that. And upper 60s to lower 70s for dew points. All right, here's the energy. You can see the upper level spin. It's coming this way. A lot of upper level forcing. You can also see the jet stream energy that's moving in. So this system that's moving through, is strengthening. Look at how that low is developing. There's Tuesday's energy as it comes in. And another thing too, we got a pretty stout jet stream that's moving in, and that's a positively tilted trough. You can see the way it's a positively tilted trough. If you were to divide this trough in half, now you really do this at 500 millibars, but just to get an idea, there's no doubt a positively tilted trough, and the jet stream's coming through tomorrow afternoon into the evening. And then after that moves out, everything's A-okay. Look at all this upper level energy, all sorts of spins in the atmosphere, and a pretty stout system that's kind of lagging back. So that shows you that storm development, also orthogonal to the actual frontal boundary, that could lead to some isolated supercells. Should we come back over here to the weather lab and do some analysis on this? What do you think?
Yeah, we can.
All right.
The 0-3 run, looks like it's trying to bring the warm front a little bit higher,
A little bit farther north.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's bring up pivotal weather too. So I'm going to do this on. We're going to bring this up this way, and then we're going to share this screen. And let's do this. Let's look at the 3Z. Also want to look at pivotal as well. Okay, good. I don't have to log in every 5 seconds. So Zachary Miller is asking about a specific town. We're never going to be that good in this business.
I've been seeing a lot
to mention exactly where a severe thunderstorm or tornado might develop. It's just we're not there yet in our technology. I don't care how much you know, including AI, you're never going to get it that detailed.
Right.
So now once the storm develops, and then we can track it and we can show the track of the system, then we can tell you what areas are going to be impacted. But all right, here's what we're going to do. Let's break this down for you. Let's talk about all the stuff we've got going on. So now we're back into the analysis mode, if you will. So we're sitting down here in front of the computer, and what we can do is we can bring up and share some of the latest computer model information. So we're going to share this window. That way we don't have to worry about tabs and all that stuff. And so here is a look at the storms that are coming in now. And I'm going to go to a forecast loop, and then we'll be able to kind of loop through this so you can see all the information. So Northwest Arkansas, on the right side of your screen, there's the storms coming in. Those kind of die out. Additional storms develop, but I don't know. It's interesting. It's like I don't think it makes it into Benton County and Carroll County. According to this, it just seems like just more and more storms are developing. Definitely not Southwest Missouri. Southwest Missouri is way, way up there. Let's zoom in a little bit more, shall we? I think we should zoom in all the way to Arkansas. Now we've got Northwest Arkansas. But the only thing is it cuts out Southwest Missouri. But that's okay because I just don't think there's a lot of storms that are going to be happening there. So let's go back and let's look.
It's going to be really hard for that warm front to move north with all those storms.
Look at that over Huntsville.
There is some break. I mean, it's just computer model, but
there is a break. Let's look at the lightning flash density. This is what I hate about pivotal weather. When you click on it, it automatically goes back to the beginning of just leave it on even with the forecast loop, it should leave it on where it's at. There's the storms in the morning. Look at that.
Ooh.
Wow, that's a lot of lightning, man.
And that's right at 4
This is going to be a really highly electrified severe weather event. Let's look at updraft helicity.
Now,
so again,
I bet this is on the increase.
Oh, I can imagine.
Looking at what we're seeing, yeah.
So there's 4 p.m. So that's got Madison County. That also has Southwest Missouri and northern Benton County. So updraft helicity over 75. Look at that.
Oh, wow.
Okay. All right. I see you. Let's look at some of the tornado parameters. First of all, let's really see if this is coming true. And yeah, that's very impressive sounding. So first of all, critical angle is a little over 90 degrees. That's pretty good curved totograph, though. Elongated curved totograph. Look at this, LCLs and LFCs. So those are pretty much scraping the ground.
Wow.
That's extremely low. A lot of instability. Absolutely no sin, no convective inhibition. Storms will likely be going up at that time. Let's go back a little bit in time. Even that's not terrible. Still as a tornado parameter. Look at the clockwise turning of the winds with height, which is called, okay, you got to know this. Is that backing or veering, Blaze?
Say that again. Sorry.
The winds are turning clockwise with height.
Yeah, that is veering.
Yes, very good. Very good. Just making sure. I said no quiz, but I gotta.
Hey, I passed.
I gotta do
passed.
something.
That's it.
I gotta do something. Oh, that's not it.
Oh no.
We got more. No, I'm just
To
kidding.
my defense, I had to do a little bit of college.
To me, sounding looked like a kindergarten drawing. I believe it. And to a lot of college students, that looks like a kindergarten drawing too, because they don't understand exactly how that works. So,
a sounding is complicated, though. I mean, there's a lot on here.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Keeps wanting to focus on you. All right. So let's go back to this. Let's show you here. And let's bring this up a little bit bigger so you can see that sounding. So yes, there is a lot that goes into a sounding. We don't have all the time to explain it.
I noticed the
convective temp. Wow, look at the 0 to 3 kilometer cape.
That's a lot.
Convective temp is 81. That could easily be reached.
Yeah, I think we'll reach that.
According to that, it's a little underdone, but that's because of all the storm. There it is, 81.
It tries, yeah.
There it is.
Oh, man. It tries to pull that warm front north.
So, Brendan, does this setup remind me of anything? There was an event that we had back in April with the warm front lifting northward, and it kind of moved in, and then there was additional storms, but we're going to be pretty close. So we're going to watch. So the next convective outlook is issued actually at 1 o'clock in the morning. Now the problem is that are they going to wait until 1 o'clock in the morning for this to be issued? Possibly, but it's something to watch. Okay, let's do this. Let's go back to.
I could see them updating it quicker than 1 o'clock.
I don't think so. Oh no. There you go. Evan, April 4th of 2025 had a similar setup. Well, let's be honest, Taylor, it's been a long time since we've seen severe weather. I mean, we had a lot of rain, we had all that stuff, but as far as like severe weather is concerned, tornadic potential, the last time we had that was in basically the spring in May. After May, it was pretty quiet. There's a lot of jet stream energy and all that is moving overhead. And so, no, absolutely not. It will not be a PDS watch. No way. I don't think so. Do you?
I don't think so. I mean, if trends continue to trend maybe towards the river valley, but I doubt it.
Okay, now I don't know what you mean by this. Can you tell us yes, no, maybe, here, there? How strong tornadoes? Stop with the confusing crap. Well, weather is confusing, dude. So here's the deal, man. We don't know exactly where a tornado is going to develop. Do we know all the ingredients? And we could go really into all the details, but it would go over a lot of people's heads, and I think that would be some confusing crap. So honestly, personally, I think that yes, there will be some tornado potential.
Yeah.
I do believe Northwest Arkansas will be in that tornado potential. But if there's a lot of storms in the morning, which can create the domino effect, which can weaken a lot of storms during the afternoon in Northwest Arkansas, that's the case. But I do believe that there will be some tornado potential, whether it would be in the River Valley or Northwest Arkansas. You have to be on your guard. Yep. Also, too, Thomas says, what does a PDS mean? So PDS means particularly dangerous situation. That stands for, a storm that basically means is not your everyday storm. It's a little bit of a stronger one, particularly dangerous situation. Not necessarily a storm because you don't necessarily know. Oh, let's look at this. Blaze, you were looking at this. We got the storm analyzer here, and I want to bring this up. I'm gonna bring this up on Mega Doppler. So, first of all, hold on.
Do you want to
There
go
we go.
full on?
Yeah, we're gonna do that. We're gonna go on full. So this is right here, but the only problem is it's not Mega Doppler, so we're gonna do this. We're gonna go on 2. So this is something that we have called GR Earth, and it's a storm analyzer, if you will. And so we're able to see the line that's coming in, and then ahead of it, what kind of ingredients do we have on here?
Oh, you're asking me right
Yeah,
now?
right now.
So we've got, if we look at surface-based Cape, there's a fair good amount. There's not that much. There's more towards the storms over in Oklahoma. But what I'm really focused on is the significant tornado parameter. And we can already see there is some parameters starting to pop up, but there's no storms.
Now there's a scale on the left. What is that scale for people that can't see?
It
Like,
starts
what are the
from
values?
0 and goes all the way up to 15.
Okay.
And so yellow would be right around 1, and then orange would be 2, and then a darker orange would be more towards the 3, 4 range.
Yeah,
and
we
then,
can see on your cursor on the screen, so that's good. So we've got probably what, about a 1?
we're
Does it give
looking
you a
at-
readout when you move over
It
with the
doesn't,
cursor?
but I would say 1 to 2 is what we're looking
Yeah.
at right now. So not anything too significant in terms of significant tornado parameter, but I will say there's some wind shear starting to move in. We can see that storm relative helicity, and
That's starting to increase. Severe thunderstorm watch to the northwest.
yeah. So I mean the parameters are starting to line up for severe weather, but again we don't
What
have
was that?
severe.
I'm gonna break them of that habit.
Oh my goodness.
Hey, you can't do bad habits, Blaze.
I know.
All right, what was it again?
Severe.
That's
Severe.
it. Severe.
Severe.
And how many miles per hour are the winds?
Yeah, miles per hour.
Miles per hour. These are all things that are going to help you.
I
Blaze.
know.
They're all helpful. I know it might be a little bit, let's
It's
just
just
say
weird
some
sometimes to
tough
say
love.
miles per hour. Like,
Yeah, I know it is.
A mile per hour.
That's
I don't
1 mile per
I
hour.
know. I'm so used to just saying, yeah, that's 50 mile per hour.
Now it sounds weird when you say
But
it.
it's miles per hour now. Yeah.
I hear people when they're like, "Oh, he was running at 20 miles an hour." I'm like, "Oh, time for push-ups."
That's what I was gonna say. Push-ups time. Hey, you know what? I do need to work out. So
All right.
the more mistakes I make, the more push-ups. So
I'm not.
We're good.
Am I being too tough on you?
No.
Maybe a little tough love.
Don't
That's
give
all
them
right.
too. Hey, Arkansas weather watchers, what's up, guys?
Yeah. Don't give them too hard of a time. Severe.
Severe.
I think severe weather is going to be possible. It's hard. It's a hard word to say, and when you say it really quick.
I guess I'd just add an R in there.
You know what? I will say this. This is a great thing he's saying. It says right here. Dan almost sounds like a dad teaching his son math. I guess I'm old enough to be your dad. That's for sure. This is a good point, though. We've already had some flash floods yesterday, so I imagine the soil is being saturated the way that it is. Legit comment right there. And something else that we really didn't talk about. Let's say we really don't have the tornado potential that comes to fruition. That'd be great. But at the same time, we also have a flooding threat. In fact, a pretty substantial one. And it's something that we covered during the newscast, but I got to show you this here. So here is a look at our flooding potential. And this is the flood watch that's in effect. And you can see this basically covers the entire weather coverage area. So just so you know, yes, being saturated, the soil, it's not going to take much for that flash flood guidance to be realized. This part of the watch goes all the way till 1 p.m. So, yeah, and I agree with this. Evan said this right here.
Too.
I couldn't say precipitation. It's not precipitation, it's precipitation.
Yeah.
I actually got my busted my, I was going to say something, but I actually got my chops busted by a viewer saying, hey, say it's precipitation, not precipitation. It's precipitation.
Right.
Tation is the thing that's accented. So that's funny. What is a cap in the river valley? I have no idea what that means.
Well, we have a cap right now. It's pretty strong.
So a cap is, you know what? This is why I can get in front of the weather wall.
You
and I
have an
can show
explainer
you.
graphic,
Yep,
don't you?
Yep, I do. A fairly decent one. And we can go back to the sounding too to check that out. But I've got a couple of graphics that can be explained. Yep, and we already mentioned this. Noah, I do believe that an enhanced risk gets issued. I don't think it's going to be at 1 o'clock in the morning. Too much uncertainty, but maybe with the latest trends, maybe that enhanced risk does get issued. I think we'll definitely get it enhanced by the end of the day tomorrow, though.
Yeah.
All right. So let me bring this up on PCR. So here is understanding the cap. So in a severe weather environment, you got warm, humid air that's at the surface. Now, if you've ever flown in a plane, you can kind of see that milky white as you get higher up off the ground. So it's like a milky white, it's like a haze. And if you're flying during a severe weather event, not necessarily storms, but at least a day of severe weather potential, you'll see that haze off in the distance. And that is what's called the boundary layer. And the boundary layer is where you have all that warm, humid air. Above that, you actually have a layer of hot, dry air. This comes from the desert Southwest. And then above that, you've got temperatures that are cold and dry, and that's above the cap. So what this does is this air tries to rise. But because of these thunderstorms not being able to break through this hot layer of air that's about 3,000 to 7,000 feet above the ground, those storms don't rise. But what happens if you get a front or a jet streak or some type of wind that increases? You're going to see these thunderstorms starting to climb, and then you'll notice maybe that cap starts to erode. See how that cloud started to bubble up, but then it wasn't able to reach the cap, or it wasn't able to break the cap, so thunderstorms didn't develop. But then if you get that cap to erode, such as a jet streak, which is an increase of lift in the air, which cools off the column, or you get a front that comes through and it pushes and forces the air up above that cap. This is known as the level of free convection. So once you reach that thunderstorm will continue to rise all the way up into the sky. Now, Blaze, I want you to bring up that other cap graphic that shows how that hot layer of air actually develops and where it comes from. Now, because the cap won't be very strong, storms could actually go up everywhere. You can actually see it where you see that cap graphic.
Yeah. Is it right here?
Yeah, just double click on it. Let's see if it's the right one. Yeah. So here's an example, perfect example. So this is the air that's heating up. This is what you saw in a sounding. So you have temperatures that are rising. And as you're going up in the atmosphere, you're getting cooler. So that's what typically happens in the atmosphere, that warm layer of air. You got air that's rising, and then it hits that warm layer of air, which prevents the clouds from rising anymore. So this is known as the cap. Here is an example of when it's uncapped. So the air is rising, and it breaks through that real thin layer of air. That allows some storms to develop. So this is what you saw on the sounding, which is essentially a skew T log P. Skew T known as a sounding, and that is the temperature decrease with height. Then you have what's called an inversion, and here you see that inversion is a lot weaker right here, which allows those storms to develop. So it's all about where the cap will be. And then there's one more graphic that you want to see too. It's understanding the cap, how it develops, and you can bring that one up.
Let's see if this is it.
That's it. Understanding the cap. So what causes that cap to develop? Well, remember that you've got hot, dry air in the desert Southwest. So as the sun heats the terrain of Colorado and New Mexico, which is about 8,000 feet above the ground, that cap eventually advects into our area with those southwesterly winds aloft. So that warm air is blown into our terrain, and at the same time, you've got that warm, humid air that's below that, just like you saw on that 2D graphic. And so that warm, humid air happens above the cap or the layer of air that is hot and dry, and then that prevents those storms from forming. But let's say we're right on the leading edge of a cap, and that surface air gets warm enough, known as the convective temperature, where we can get above that cap. That's when those thunderstorms will start to develop. This is fun. I can be on the live stream. I'm not getting wrapped during severe weather coverage or during anything like that.
Said
so
1 minute. No, just kidding.
Yeah, I know, exactly.
Someone asked, are we capped right now? Yes, there is a cap. We have an active cap right now, but because of the front moving through,
there's a cap, and that's no cap.
That was clever. I like that.
Robert, I like that. No cap.
Because of the front moving through, that is going to eliminate the cap. So, and we can show you that if we take this full weather 1 and we look, you'll see that's a pretty strong cap.
Mm-hmm. Now you can't animate that, and you can't look at a computer model forecast for that.
No. Well, we can a little bit, but not like computer model guidance. So, but that's why we're not seeing any storms tonight for our area, because we're capped.
Oh, what's this? Hey, when you're coding stuff for the AI, capital letters can screw stuff up. Huh. I got to be honest with you too. I'm about to ask about the helicity tracks. We'll check out the latest 3Z for the helicity tracks, but I got to say something. If you missed it earlier, Grok and I going head to head, and honestly, got to be honest, man, Grok on X, pretty impressive. That's the cleaning crew.
Oh, okay. I was like, somebody's here.
Got the tornadoes coming already.
Yeah, that was quick.
Grok and I, at first I was about to give him the 1-2 and knock him out, but then Grok came back and really wanted to help. Also was a little bit afraid, I think, of
I think you scared him.
Yeah.
I think you scared him.
He's like, ouch, that sounds pretty impressive. Gork? What's Gork? I'll just leave it at that. What is Gork? Do you know what Gork is? Have you ever heard of Gork?
No.
Sounds bad. I think I'll stay away from Gork. I'll tell you what, just because I love you guys, I'll stay on this stream until midnight. If there's no risk updated around midnight or shortly after, then we won't do, I'm not going to stay up till 1. I'm not seeing that. I'm definitely not doing that. No. Okay. They're saying, please go over the timeline. You sure you don't just want us to shoot the breeze about nothing and talk about waste your time on storms? No, we will. We'll go over the timeline right now. Okay. So let's do this. So this is right here, the future track, and this is the most recent one that was updated. And you're going to see around 7 a.m. these storms are coming through. Now you're looking at the latest computer models, which I definitely want you to do.
It's going to, I don't know, by the time this live stream's over, I don't know if we're going to get the 04Z run.
So here is big cluster of storms, 9 a.m. Notice the River Valley is pretty quiet, and that's good and bad. It's good because you don't have the flooding threat is tomorrow morning. It's bad because that means the heat and humidity is cranking up. And then watch what happens. So this is got thunderstorms still continuing, and then it clears it out, and then it brings some supercells. Wow, look at that. 3-4 o'clock in the afternoon.
That's going to be problems.
That's just let's see, it's about 15 hours away, 16 hours away from now. That's what that shows. Now, let's look at some other models too. I don't even think I looked at the new graph.
I mean, is it worth looking at though? I mean, Has it nailed one setup yet?
No.
I didn't think so. It just goes to show you
Look
how
at this
terrible it is.
garbage. Look at this thing. It's got little isolated cells, and then it barely even brings anything in. So that's the 3-kilometer graph. You know, it was a good map model was the Spire. Oh,
Yeah.
how I missed the Spire.
I have trust issues with models.
That was a pretty good one. So look, there's some storms. Okay, I might believe that. So this has developed some storms, and then it blows them up during the afternoon into the
Whoa.
early evening in the river valley. And that kind of makes sense. Let's look at the NAM 3-kilometer. Have you looked at that?
NAM 3K? No, I'm not, but I will.
There's the cluster of storms in the morning. Then it warms up to nearly 80, and then it's got some storms in the afternoon, but that doesn't look terrible.
I think it really shows a lot of morning storms.
Yeah, that could be a key player to the entire forecast. So here's some timing for you.
But I will say the tornado parameters a little bit elevated. For the NAM.
So here's the timing for you. We've got the 2-day precipitation forecast that shows up, goes until basically late morning, and then it kind of, why is this drop off right here? It makes sense because the models are showing a lull in the precipitation, and then you'll see it getting up to 90% again. Maybe not as much for Northwest Arkansas, but definitely something to watch. Kathy says, wow, 3 p.m. tomorrow. I guess I'm not going to get much sleep. Mr. Mission Control, we have a problem. Houston, we have a problem. The HRRR has chosen violence. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of storms on the HRRR.
But we have seen the HRRR be overly aggressive.
Yeah.
We've seen that a lot of times. Like, it's like, okay, it's going to storm.
That's a good point.
And then it doesn't do anything. So it's kind of one of those things. We have to look at trends, and we have to look at other models and kind of blend them together.
And where that frontal position is. That's
if that
what's
warm
going to
front
be.
moves to the Arkansas-Missouri border, then afternoon is
Here's this right here. Look,
stormy.
There's the warm front position, and that doesn't get as warm. Look at that. It has a lot more storms over time, but it still goes from 76 to 71. So it does appear like, yeah, I don't know. I don't believe that. Not the way we're going. So yeah, happy fall too. It's officially the autumnal equinox, which means equal for the northern and southern hemisphere. In fact, if you look at a global map or a global satellite image, you'll see basically straight up and down for the tilt. The tilt will be straight up and down. Trends, yes. Individual model runs, no.
Right.
Trends are the key. Yeah. Wait an hour and it will change for sure.
Well, we're waiting on the 04Z run right now. We don't have any data.
4 minutes away, we'll be able to know. Storm Prediction Center issuing their day 2 fire outlook, so they're starting to release their products. Now you know that is going to update the latest out of everything.
Right.
The most recent thing will be really X gets it pretty quick.
I haven't checked in a while. Do they normally release the fire at midnight?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's normal. So they're on normal schedule right now.
All right. So going back to this, I want to show you this. This is kind of a cool thing that I made, and it shows the severe weather potential for the day 1 and the day 2. So here's the risks that we have. And then before I let you go, the way I jumped here and there it goes. Yeah. All right, so here is the cap that we were looking at, but this is what I want to show you. The day 1 outlook, a couple storms possible tonight. Here is the tornado potential, and you can see that it's basically over north central Oklahoma. That, I believe, is for QLCS tornadoes.
Yep.
And that makes sense.
And we're seeing the
The
wind
wind
shear increasing.
and the hail.
Significant tornado parameter is really lighting up over the Oklahoma area where these storms are right now. So, I mean, this is doing a really good job.
Yeah. And that's kind of lining out too, that whole system. Look at the large hail risk. They even have a hatched area for tonight into tomorrow morning. And then you look at the see if there's any mesoscale discussions. Oh yeah, for the watch that's out there. Okay, here's the day 2. Now, this is what I wanted to show you. One risk ends at 7 a.m. That's the risk overnight tonight. So there's the cluster of storms coming in. And then you'll see here's 6 a.m. At that point, the storms may or may not be into our area by then. I think maybe that should have been cropped a little bit farther westward because that's not going to be reaching there at 7 a.m.
Yeah.
But that's just me. Here's the risk as we go into after 7 a.m. and we look at that future radar. And look, there's the storms coming in, additional storms developing, and then they kind of push south. Now, that's one of the older computer models, but you get the idea. As I step through that timing again, late morning into the afternoon. So there are no storms before 7 a.m. tomorrow morning, in my opinion, except for like maybe 5 or 6 a.m. Can you explain what a QLCS tornado is? Oh, ho, ho, ho.
He's got graphics for it.
Can I ever? Have you ever seen this graphic?
Yeah, you showed it to me.
This definitely deserves getting in front of the wall.
Go for it.
Maybe we can get the risk by then. What do you think?
It's a possibility.
All right. If you haven't watched or you haven't seen this graphic, this is my masterpiece. Let's begin.
Let's do it.
All right. So we're explaining, Robert, and anybody else that wants to know, you know about a quasi-linear convective system, but what does it mean? Well, here's a look at a broken line of thunderstorms known as a QLCS. Now, if it's a solid line, it's kind of like a squall line, but a QLCS is like a cluster of storms that's not quite a perfect line. It's not a super solid line. And so this is what it stands for, quasi-linear convective system. Now, this is actually, and we had a kind of before we had a message from someone saying there was a severe weather event in October of 2019. This is actually the radar imagery from October 21st, 2019. And I thought this would be a great way to explain what a QLCS is. So in order to determine the tornado potential for QLCS tornadoes, you got to look at 3 ingredients. Let's first of all break down the first ingredient. This is where you find balanced or slightly shear dominant areas in what's called the UDCZ. This is known as the updraft, downdraft convergence zone. So this happens depending on where the storm is, either ahead of it, right along the leading edge of it, or quite a ways in front of it. So here you can see what's called the UDCZ, the updraft, downdraft convergence zone. How does that work and what does it do? Well, there are 3 regimes that you're looking at for this. You're looking at a cold pool dominant regime. This is the least likely area for tornadoes. You've got a shear dominant region where that UDCZ is slightly behind the storms. Not as likely area for tornadoes, but still could happen. And then finally, you've got the balanced area. So here's a look at where the tornadoes are most likely. Well, why is that? And what does that mean that it's balanced? Well, we'll check that out. But the next thing we got to do is look at this UDCZ, bring it to the ground, and show you where the line normal 0 to 3 kilometer bulk shear is greater than or equal to 30 knots. Now, that might be a little bit of a tricky phrase. What exactly does that mean? Bulk shear is essentially the winds that's increasing with speed, with height. So you've got weaker winds at the surface. You got stronger winds at the top of that 0 to 3 kilometer bulk shear. So at 3 kilometers, you've got stronger winds. If you put a pinwheel in that, it will start rotating, as you can see, in this direction, which is known as clockwise. Now, it shows plus on there, and if you might be going, well, wait a minute, I thought clockwise is high pressure, which is called anticyclonic. Yes, it is. But in this case, we're looking at the environmental vorticity that's along the ground. And this is known as the shear rotor. Now, this has to be at or equal to 30 knots. And remember, it has to be what we call line normal. So how does this work? Well, as the thunderstorm creates this cold pool known as the QLCS cold pool, on the leading edge of that cold pool, think about it. You got air that's really cold and is descending. You're going to get a sinking at the same time. That rotor is going to be spinning in this direction, which is, as you can see, cyclonic or counterclockwise. If you were to look at hands on a clock that's spinning the exact way. So this is known as the cold pool rotor. And then you've got the environmental shear rotor. Now we're looking at the cold pool dominant regimes. You remember what happened, right? You had the gust front that was way out ahead of where the actual reflectivity in the storms were. And that's because the cold pool rotor is spinning faster than the environmental shear rotor. So what that does is that takes the storm and it's what's called rearward leaning. So if we look at some of the characteristics of a cold pool dominant feature, you got a system cold pool that is stronger, meaning it's spinning faster than the shear rotor. So if we were to put a football in that, that would shoot to the left because this is spinning faster than this wheel. And so the updrafts tend to be weaker and rearward leaning, and therefore tornado development not as likely. Well, that's one regime. Let's look at another one, the shear dominant area. Now, this is where it gets a little tricky because tornadoes are still possible, but they're not necessarily as likely. So we bring that UDCZ down again, and now you've got the cold pool rotor that is a little weaker because it makes sense because a lot of the storms are actually out ahead of that boundary, the UDCZ, the updraft, downdraft convergence zone. Now you got the shear rotor. You can see how that's spinning a little bit faster. So what do you think happens with that, Blaze? What will the thunderstorm be? Will it be rearward leaning or will it be forward leaning?
Forward.
It will be forward leaning. That's right, because the updraft is going to be pulled forward because the shear rotor is stronger. So if you were to put a football in between that, like a pitching machine or a football, throwing machine, that's going to tend to lean to the right or, up and to the right. So those updrafts are still weaker because they're slightly forward leaning, and the tornado development is not as likely, but still possible. So that's where the shear rotor is stronger, spins faster than the cold pool rotor. Now let's talk about the balance regime. And this is where the tornadoes went nuts for the October 21st, 2019 tornado event. This is where you look for surges or bows along lines of thunderstorms, because what that can do is that could take maybe a cold pool regime as the line catches up to the cold pool, and now you get a balanced area. So the balanced area is the most likely area for tornadoes, and here is why. So that means you've got a cold pool that's spinning a certain speed, and then you got the shear rotor that's spinning the certain speed. What happens on that one, Blaze, if they're spinning the same?
It's equal.
It's equal. That means that football is going to go and shoot straight out. So now you got the cold pool that's coming in. That cold pool is going to get lifted almost straight vertical. This is known as constructive interference when both rotors are spinning at the same speed. Therefore, your updraft of the thunderstorm is going to be basically straight up. Now, another thing you have to look at, including with QLCS tornadoes, is that 0 to 3 kilometer cape. That's known as the instability. That means you have buoyancy. So here comes this streamwise vorticity in the environment, which is where you have the rear inflow jet from a thunderstorm that starts basically collapsing. That streamwise vorticity is going to get pulled up into the vertical. Then as a figure skater starts spinning faster and faster as the arms pull in, that updraft, that rotation gets faster and faster. So system cold pool and shear rotor spins at the same speed. The updrafts tend to be vertically deep and upright. Constructive interference maximized, most likely area for tornadoes. And there you go. That's where that development occurs. What do you think, Blaze?
Nice job.
Professor Scoff.
Yeah, you had some people asking about you writing a weather training book.
Oh, yeah?
They also want you to share the graphics with them.
Huh. Cool. Yeah,
Nice.
we could do that. So there's a reason why QLCS tornadoes happen along the UDCZ that is balanced, updraft, downdraft, convergence zone. How does that relate to real life? Well, let's look. So here we've got a potential storm that's beginning to develop. As of now, doesn't look like there's really any tornado potential. I don't see any warnings on there, but you'll see that tornado potential increasing. So we've got probably a balanced region right in here. We've got a shear dominant region up in here. And then we've got weaker storms down here. This is probably cold pool dominant. Now, what's interesting with GR Earth is it shows what's called a composite. Composite's great for looking at the big picture, but it's a lot better to look at individual radar sites. So I'm going to come into here. We're going to load up Vance Air Force Base, which will be in northwest Oklahoma. This will give us a more detailed look at the storm. And now we can check out and see what's going on. That's a lot of lightning, first of all.
That is a lot.
Highly electrified storms.
Whoa.
In order to see what's going on, let's remove the lightning on there. And let's see if we have any areas of rotation. Now, remember, you got to actually set the storm motion from the warning. So we're going to go here. And we're going to see what we got. So let's go with a place marker here. Let's go back a little ways. And actually, you know what? I might do this on the hail core. So let's look at maximum expected hail size. We'll go here. We'll place the marker, and we'll try to get a motion. That's going to be kind of hard because that thing falls apart. It looks like those individual cells are moving northeast, doesn't it?
It does, yep.
So we go here, probably right about there, set the storm motion from warning. Moving pretty quick, 244 at 46. So why do we do that? Because we get the storm relative velocity. And look, we got a little circulation right there. We look at the normalized rotation. There is what we call anticyclonic and cyclonic all along the leading edge. And look, there's where your strongest line is.
Yep.
Then we can look at the spectrum width, and you can really see where that boundary is located, right on the leading edge. But now we've got to say, okay, let's see if the ingredients or the parameters meet the potential for QLCS tornadoes. And what was one of those ingredients that we needed?
Well, we need the 0 to 3 cape.
0 to 3 kilometer cape. That's correct. Have to have some of that.
We have to have the shear as well, but
which was the 0 to 3 kilometer bulk shear, right?
Right.
So here's what we're going to do. We're going to bring this up. We're going to look at this. This is the meso analysis. If you look at multi-parameter fields, you will see right here 0 to 3 kilometer bulk shear and mixed layer cape. And look at what we got there. So it looks like it's just barely 30 knots. And guess what? That line runs north to south. So it is line normal, meaning perpendicular to that shear. So remember, the way that shear rotor is going to be this way and this way, only like a overhead view, obviously. And think about it along the ground. So your balanced updrafts will be right here. Let's see if there's any 0 to 3 kilometer cape. So we can look at, well, that already shows you the 0 to 3 kilometer cape. If we look at here, there's a 0 to 3 kilometer. We don't quite have it over us. It's not strong enough. It doesn't meet that 30 knot criteria. And then we go here, and there's the lapse rates. Now, one of the things that we can do with this model is we can kind of go out in time and see what happens. And look, it starts increasing. 0 to 3 kilometer capes on the increase. That's definitely not thunderstorms. It kind of sounds like it, though, doesn't it?
It does. Yeah, I think it's a vehicle.
There's a surface vorticity. Let's move along in time and see what happens. And so there's the system coming in. Doesn't look like the bulk shear really matches what it should. So let's go there. Multi-parameters. And see, there's really no way to get what the bulk shear is going to be over time if it increases or strengthens, which is kind of interesting. But you get the idea. The ingredients aren't quite there for here. Oh, and look at what we have here. Just as we were talking about that.
And I bet it's got a tornado possible tag to it.
So look at that. Severe thunderstorm warning just got issued.
It does
for that cell.
But I bet it will, because
well, that now that we actually have a severe weather warning, we can set the storm motion from the warning.
You nailed it.
I nailed it. It was right on. Look at that. How about the risk? We got the new risk. Yeah, those are definitely circulations. I will say this.
Did we get the new risk?
Nope, not yet. Like I said, I'm not waiting until 1 a.m., but I really am interested. It's definitely not out yet. Probably won't be out. This is a little bit of a tricky one. So yeah, to sum it up, we could even see the potential for tornadoes in the morning, honestly, with this line coming through. Me personally, I know how this works. I bet you the storms are going to be more in northeast Oklahoma with tornado potential, and then they don't quite develop over northwest Arkansas. Yeah, let's do that. A great question. Let's check that out. Now, the problem is that I don't have, Alex, lightning data for our system that probably goes out that far. It'll probably stop right before that. But we can check it out and we can look. So let's look here. Let's look for a lightning count. Yeah. See that barely? It's just barely out of our reach. Let me show you.
Man.
There's one bolt right there. That's it. One lightning bolt. Done. No, obviously not.
No, because we saw it on GR. I mean, it was wow.
That's going to be on the increase, though. Yeah, that's it. That's all we can get. But bring that up on GR.
Put the
on Mega Doppler, yeah. Look at the lightning. It's a lot of lightning on there. All right. Well, continue to watch that circulation. Now, see, here's one thing I don't see. One thing you also want to look at is for those reflectivity nubs. You know, those are key when you're forecasting tornado potential. I don't see that. I also don't see a descending rear inflow jet. And what that does is that creates that cold pool rush, which allows those thunderstorms to be basically perfectly upright. And that's the upright ones that allow to create those little spins, if you will. I think the audio is working good. That's just plugging it in back there really makes a difference.
I think so.
Makes it work. So let's go back in time and see what we got. Yeah, that definitely has some persistent rotation, and that's why they went severe on that. Look at that, 71 miles per hour.
Wow.
I said it right, miles per hour.
You did.
I'm in so much of a habit on that. Now, this is interesting. Look at where the cold pool is. These are cold pool dominant storms. That outflow boundary is probably way out ahead of it. And almost like you can't even really see it, to be honest with you. But clearly those storms are a lot weaker.
Right.
You know what? We haven't done the 8-ball. We should do the 8-ball. Who is that guy that popped up on the screen? Look at this guy. You want to be added? No? All right. He accidentally added himself. We have a stalker on here, I guess.
Someone
in.
hacked in.
No,
I'm just kidding.
Stop the yawning. I'm at work. Oh, man. Let's do the 8-ball. And then if that risk doesn't update here within the next few minutes, I'm going to bed. because I've got a lot to do here.
I'm tired too.
Yeah. Do you have any more schoolwork, or are you done?
I think from the way it looks, I think I'm okay for like. I don't think I have any. Like I knocked out my quiz just a few minutes ago.
Yeah.
And then I don't think I have anything else due tomorrow, so I should be good. Now there's assignments due on Wednesday, but Wednesday should be fine. So
Here we go. You give me the question so I'm not in trouble with the 8-ball. What should we ask it? I mean, I think the first thing is obviously, will there be tornadoes tomorrow? Let's do just a real general anything. Will there be tornadoes tomorrow with this system? Oh, I can't say tomorrow because it's got to be specific.
it's technically today now.
Will there be tornadoes
This afternoon.
Tuesday, September 23rd, 2025? We're just going to start it off with that. Reply hazy. Try again. Come on. Will there be...
Gotta love technology.
This is technology right here. They have a big story, too, on how the 8-ball developed. Will there be tornadoes Tuesday, September 23rd, 2025?
Watch it be like, I don't know.
Yes.
Oh.
It says straight up yes. All right.
Oh.
Let's narrow it down. Will there be tornadoes in our weather coverage area Tuesday, September 23rd, 2025? Yes. All right. It just says straight up yes. Will there be tornadoes north of the Bobby Hopper Tunnel
Okay.
today? Just say
Today.
straight
Yeah,
up
yeah.
today. Then you have to say the date. Ask again later. It's probably waiting for that cluster of storms to see what it does. All right. I know this 8-ball. All right. Will there be tornadoes in the River Valley tomorrow, along and south of I-40? It is certain.
Whoa.
I think I'm joking, but I'm not. It is certain. Sometimes Dan has push-ups for saying tomorrow after midnight.
Oh, got him on that one.
You're right. You're right. All right. I'll do some.
No, because then I'll feel bad, and then I'll feel like I need to do them.
Yeah, you will when you make a mistake. So
Oh my goodness.
here's my deal. My shoulder hurts, so I'll do some close grip push-ups.
I think we're only supposed to do 10.
20.
You did 20. Okay.
20 close grip push-ups.
I was going to say, I think you're only supposed to do 10.
See, if I do it too wide, then the shoulder. All right, don't say tomorrow. Blaze, might as well get yours in as well.
I could.
I love it.
I need sleep though right now.
I know we really honestly can't stay up too much longer. But no, that storm is going nuts out west. Yep, we already did that. Also has to do it when he says miles an hour. Okay, so Alex, the 04Z HRRR is getting updated.
What did he say it's showing?
Go to the 4Z, almost done.
Yeah, we can only see the 12 o'clock right now.
Shows keep going forward. Yeah, it does show some cool weather. Me personally, this is what I think, and this is just me. I think we're going to see severe weather, greater potential in the River Valley. I think Northwest Arkansas is just too much on the cusp, in my opinion.
Is it possible? Yes. But I think River Valley would be more likely.
And it's all about that warm front. So if
Right.
you're just tuning in and you're just watching, this is what it's all about. Where the warm front's going to be. That's not the graphic that I
Now,
wanted.
if let's say we wake up today, key thing here, we wake up today, in several hours, and we notice the warm front
That was
is
close.
I mean, it
That
was
close, but
It's only 12:23 though.
Yeah.
So I mean, wait. But could the argument be made
that it's Pacific
because
time?
well,
and
no,
they're 2
no,
hours
not that.
back.
But in one of our graphics, it has tonight, and that goes until 7.
Nah, after midnight. All right. I'm going to ask it again. Nope, sorry. That's not going to work.
Okay.
Good try, though. But I get your point.
That's why I would never be good as a lawyer.
I object. Objection sustained. All right, here we go. Will there be tornadoes north of the Bobby Hopper Tunnel today from this weather system? Oh, it's hard to see. I can't. I'll let you read that. It says, better not tell you now. Thank you. Appreciate that.
So we're going to find out.
Yeah, we're going to find out soon enough. Here's a look at the future track. There's the warm front that's lifting northward. There's the storms. Now, honestly, if that warm front doesn't quite make it to northwest Arkansas, as you'll see right here, going back, there's the stationary front, starts lifting north. Man, that's a lot of storm activity throughout the day. Look at that. It still has a raging supercell.
That's, the big thing we're going to have to watch
and that is north of the Bobby Hopper Tunnel.
How far does this warm front go? If it goes to Arkansas, Missouri border,
it's game on.
Yeah.
The 8-ball is more accurate than the models. Yep. Wonder if we should put 8-ball and Grok up against each other. That might be a duel for the ages. Yeah.
That would be really interesting.
I'm hitting refresh. Man, I can't wait for daylight saving time to be over because then you get the updates at midnight. And you don't have to wait. It's not updated. So do I think the warm front will rise, will lift northward? I do, but I don't think it makes it into Benton County. I just don't. I don't think Benton County gets it. Washington County, parts of it, but not everywhere. I think personally, Bobby Hopper Tunnel is going to be probably right around where the warm front is. Now, we could be seeing a dramatic change, but I don't think that's going to be the case. Come on in. Yep, we're just doing a live stream. You know you're late when Lilia comes walking in the door. Yep. Oh, yeah. Vacuuming might be a little loud.
Oh, no?
Huh? How long?
No problem.
You can do it. You can vacuum. Yeah, we can do it. I'll show you.
Hey, we could kick the noise cancellation mode.
Should we bring her up? Oh,
you got it.
There she is. There she is. Lily is vacuuming.
Oh, put us. Yeah. Put us there. There she is.
So there's Lily in the background. She's vacuuming. I think the mic still sounds pretty good though.
I think so. Yeah.
I don't think there's audio
We could kick the noise cancellation on though.
Yeah.
And see
if there's any type of distance.
See how well it does.
Difference. That was fun. Hey, Lilia, get in front of the green screen real quick.
Really?
Yeah. Just stand right there. Okay. Yep. Ready? Hi. There's everybody. She's doing weather. All right. She's great. She's awesome. But yeah, typically, you're here late when she comes rolling in. Hopefully the morning crew is in here too. Okay, Morgan just got on here? Can't hear the vacuum. Look at that.
Okay.
That's good.
Sweet.
Don't even need the noise cancellation. Man, that's great. Cool. Hey, look who's on here. Very cool. All right. She's going to vacuum up those storms. I know. Yeah, I think Southern Washington County is definitely going to be something to watch for sure. So anyways, guys, yeah, here's what we're going to do. We're going to show you on Hollow Heat and Cooling Mega Doppler. We still have that severe thunderstorm warning that's way west of us. That line doesn't look super intense yet, but that's because the upper level support really isn't in here yet. Okay, there's the latest. Man, those storms blow up. What does that look like on Future Track? So let's take a look here. I'm going to look at the sounding too. Let's bring this up.
That's going to be the thing. It's just going to depend on where that warm front is at.
Yep.
And that's what's so tricky about forecasting severe weather, because you got to think about it. The warm front, it sounded close.
It was close.
It was close. It was close.
It was close.
It's going to take me a while to retrain my entire brain. And
We're going to do that
my
though.
voice.
Through push-ups,
Okay.
through strenuous activity. Sorry, Mom, but we got to.
I doubt she's even up. She's got work tomorrow, so she probably ain't even watching. She might be though. I know my grandma's on here though.
Is she?
I saw her earlier. Yeah.
I might get Grandma to come after me. Honestly, with me
Just
making
get an
me do
email.
push-ups.
Just get an email call or something.
Yep. So here's a look at.
We need to talk.
Here's a look at the storms that roll in, and yeah, that does develop quite a bit of storm activity. Let's see if it has any type of helicity tracks. You know what? I'm just going to bring this up full screen so we can all see it. I think that'll be a lot better. So we'll look at updraft helicity tracks, full run max.
Oh, yeah. Whoa.
Oh, wait a minute. Why would it disappear? What? Oh, there we go. And I'll tell you what. Let's zoom in a little bit. The HRRR is choosing violence. Washington County, I think, could be interesting. I do.
Yeah.
I do. Notice that time, too. It's right around, wow, that one comes through what? 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So you got 2, and then you got another round, 3, 4. I really do think an enhanced risk comes out. I don't see they've updated yet.
I think they pull an enhance.
I really almost want to wait for that risk.
Today,
Blaze.
I think they pull an enhance. And when I mean today, I mean the definition of in the next 30 minutes.
Can I object to that model?
We'll join in with you.
That's a good question. Let's do that. Let's throw that one in there. Oh, yeah. So we got Storm Track weather, Storm Track 360 weather. We're actually watching some of the live streams that he had on. And he says, do you have a weather club? All the weather people and pages hang out with Dan and Blaze. Well, we've got, obviously our Facebook page. I don't know if I can't really spend as much time on social media as I can because we got so many shows to do. We got so much stuff to do, but we kind of do what we can here in the weather lab to make sure that, we got everything, all our ducks in a row. And it's kind of hard when this isn't, your full-time job is broadcast.
Right.
There's a lot that goes in. I think Blaze is surprised at this. How much goes into broadcasting?
Yeah, I'll be honest. First day, my eyes were open when I realized how much goes into building a forecast, building a show. And there's a forecast sheet that you gotta, make, and the data you gotta enter. There's a lot. There is a lot. And this is not something you could just come in here and do in like 10, 15 minutes. This is something that takes hours to do.
Yeah.
And so that's why sometimes, depending upon how busy the day is, it's like the show starts at 5 and still cranking graphics out right around 4:45.
Oh yeah, building the 7-day during the A block.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. So yeah. So that's what we got. Okay, let's go to real quick.
What are you thinking?
I don't know.
Got 28 minutes.
Let's just ask the 8-ball some more questions here. Will the stream tomorrow, which most likely will happen? I got one. Will the stream last more than 4 hours? Okay, that's one question that we can ask, and it says, "Better not tell you now."
Are you
That's because it's going to last 8 hours. 8-ball's being finicky. Will Storm Track
technology?
Will Storm Track 360 weather be live tomorrow?
Okay. I say yes.
All right. Most likely. However, it wouldn't be tomorrow, it would be today.
Oh,
But he could go all the way into midnight and
That's
in
true.
early morning hours as the storm system's winding down. So, okay, what would be the cause if the warm front did rise north?
we
Could be
would-
pretty much in trouble
Yeah.
with our severe weather threat. I want to show you this. One thing we didn't do is we showed the sounding. Okay, we never showed the most recent sounding. Let's look at that. So let's click on this. Let's look at the most recent sounding. And ooh, that tornado critical angle has gotten even better now.
Yeah, it has.
So what do I mean by that?
It does show
A little sin, but
Yeah.
that's because there's a thunderstorm that came through earlier.
That's true.
So let me bring this up and show you. So this is the sounding. You've got the photograph, and I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm just going to go here and bring this up full. And so let's go back in time a little bit before it gets overworked. See, this is a narrow window of opportunity, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Look at that. That just gets totally saturated, and then the thunderstorms are no more. Now, I probably picked a bad location. Let's go back here. A little bit over time. 10 a.m. is too late. Let's pick Southern Washington County. All right.
Oh, yeah.
Now, see, that is a profile right there. Look at the lapse rate. So remember how we were mentioning there was no cap, no sin, no cap, as in no cap, and I'm not talking about lying, as the millennials say. But look at the LSCL and the LSC. They're right next to each other. So the
It's
level of
just
free
gonna
convection and the
rise.
level of lifted condensation level are right. Number one, that's very low. That's within the 1 kilometer. That's a half kilometer above the ground. You also got strong low-level wind shear. Let me go forward a little bit in time.
Oh,
Now that is a good critical angle right there. And
still no
no cap.
cap.
And then you can see a lot of instability. Look at the significant hail on some of those previous risks.
Wow.
So you've got 95, 3.75 for the SARS, and the tornado match. What is that? What does that show? For some reason I can't see it real well.
56% non-loose matches.
Is it 56?
56% tore.
Why is that so garbage looking? See what it looks like on this. Yeah, looks worse. All right. How old is the 8-ball model? KNWA Weather Chat is where all the chasers who were cool in 2000s hang out. OG Gooses Unite. How about that? Man, we've had a storm tracking team for a long time. Denton is one of them. How old is that model of 8-ball? Yeah, sometimes more accurate than some of the other models. Are you annoying little piece of garbage? Yes, definitely. I agree.
Okay.
Yeah. Are you trying
I'm
to
telling
troll
you,
me?
sometimes technology can be very stupid.
Yeah.
And the luck with technology today has not been, the highest. So
Yes, to say the least. There's been some issues. I knew they were going to wait till 1 a.m. It's going to be to the bitter
Yeah.
end. Should we stay? Zach Gilday is on here. He texted. He said, I was watching part of the live stream earlier tonight. Go crush it tomorrow. I'll be praying for you guys.
we miss him.
Heck yeah.
I guess I'm asking what would cause the front to move northward.
Well, what would cause the front to move northward is a lack of storms. So if there's no storm activity during the morning hours and it's very limited in storm coverage, that would cause the warm front to lift very far north. That's right. So that's the sounding, and the photograph looks pretty good too with critical
A
angle.
lot of instability.
It's a lot of instability, and then it gets kind of sapped in for sure. You know what? I got what I can do here. We got about 930 people on here. Zach went to Knoxville, Tennessee, so he is at a different station within the Next Star family. This is what I wanted to show you because I think this is going to be something that you might use tomorrow, honestly. It's called Weather Call Next Gen. This is the time right now when everything is quiet and you can set up stuff because tomorrow when the storms are coming, that's when things could get a little bit heated pretty fast. But this is Weather Call Next Gen. What it is a service, not an app. It's different than an app because let's face it, how many times when you have bad cell service, what does your app do? Fails miserably.
Because it can't get signal.
Yep. So this is a service that will call you on your cell phone, and you might not get signal either, but let me show you what it does. So first of all, hyper local alerts. What do we mean by hyper local alerts? This is what we mean. If you look at Mega Doppler and we zoom into Woods County here, you see this? This is called the polygon warning. This is a severe thunderstorm warning. Oh, look, we're starting to get what's called the descending reflectivity core, descending reflectivity jet, and that's called a rear inflow jet, and that's a notch. And I bet you that rotation is starting to increase more and more right here. Look at how balanced that is.
Wow.
So we'll probably start getting.
You want to set the storm motion?
Yep. I think it'll be the exact same, but yeah, we'll set the storm motion.
Yeah, it's the same.
So where will this potentially tornado? It would be right in here. This is a balanced regime with 30 knots, but it would especially be right in here, just to the west of Alba.
That's almost a straight line.
And so if we look, watch this start to crank up right here. Look at this right here, south of Bavard.
Yeah.
So right now, nothing really showing up, but if that does really line up, look at how that's totally balanced. This is where your tornado potential will be. But going back to this graphic, let's say I live right here. Okay? Place a marker right here. Let's say I live in Woods County. It is Woods County, right? Yep. It's Woods County. Let's say I live in southern Woods County, like right where this dot is. Am I within the polygon? No, I'm south of it, just barely. The weather radio will be going off for Woods County, but I'm not in the polygon. And look where the stores to the storm is going to be. So this shows how I'm south of that. Well, guess what? Weather Call Next Gen is that accurate where it can tell you only if you're in the path of that polygon. So how do you sign up? Take a screenshot, get that QR code. That'll take you right to our registration page. There you go. So there's the link right there. You can see the link on the screen too. weathercallservices.com/KNWA Next Gen. What else does Weather Call Next Gen 2? Let's say there's a tornado warning that's issued, and then that tornado warning becomes confirmed. If it's confirmed, you'll just see not really much of an update to the tornado warning, except the new text will say that it's confirmed. But this will call you and tell you, hey, there was a tornado that was radar indicated. Now we got one on the ground doing damage. Very, very important to have. In fact, I think I have an old voicemail if you want to hear what it sounds like.
Yeah, let's do it.
So what are some of the other things, Blaze, that it does?
Well, it's got one thing is it can do landline. It can call landline phones. Now, why is that such a big deal? Well, here's the thing. there's going to be cases where landline phones are still operating when your cell phones will not. Think about this. If we have a natural disaster, let's say a tornado, immediately emergency services get priority over the cell tower.
Yeah.
That means most of your phones are going to completely shut down and they're going to get jammed up and not going to be able to communicate out. A landline will continue as long as there's, a telephone connection, and more than likely there will be, because let's face it, landline, they're the phones that stay around.
Yep.
I mean, during the snow, you could have no power and still be able to communicate through a landline.
And a lot of people are getting landlines
Right.
now. So let me show you this here. We'll bring this up full, and this is what it sounds like here. Again, we're kind of killing time waiting for this new Outlook, but at the same time, this is what would happen here. Okay.
The National Weather Service has issued a tornado warning for a confirmed
Oh,
tornado
yeah.
on the ground doing damage. Get into your safe place now. This is a message from Weather Call Next Gen.
So let me rewind that here so you can hear.
Repeating, the National Weather Service has issued a tornado warning for a confirmed tornado on the ground doing damage.
Now imagine you get a call on that and you know that you're in the path of that warning because you are in the polygon. It's probably pretty nerve-wracking, and you will get a little bit of a deal. Now this is
wait a minute.
what?
Does that voice not sound a little familiar to
Well,
you?
it's me.
I know.
Yeah, it's my voice.
So if you want Dan Scoff to call you,
Yeah.
sign up.
Yeah, exactly. Another thing too is that it gives you extreme severe thunderstorm alerts, because maybe it's not necessarily always a tornado.
Right.
Damaging winds can do just as much damage, and sometimes you get what are called considerable or destructive severe thunderstorms.
Or
We call those
microbursts.
extreme. Yeah. And those are notifications for storms with hurricane force winds and or golf ball size hail. So that will also alert you. And then finally, those lovely landline phones. How about rural locations with poor cell service? I love when your weather app screams at me when it's dead quiet. It makes me jump out of my skin. Do you love that though? Maybe it's a love-hate relationship. I don't know. That's funny.
Again, it's Dan Scoff though, and
Yep.
it's Dan Scoff's voice. So if you want
Too much of me.
can you imagine how cool that is? You're just chilling, and next thing you know, Dan Scoff calls you and tells you that you need to take shelter.
You know what?
Like the man.
Gosh, that would be
Dan
such a
calls you.
good promo, right?
That would be, yeah.
You- I mean, you could go places with that.
You
could be
could.
like,
just Dan.
you could be
the
like, you
man.
wake up, you're looking for the alarm clock, and I'll be like, a severe thunderstorm warning has been. I'm like in your room, I'm like in your bedroom. That would be hilarious. Or you're like cooking breakfast and you close the cabinet, and here I am right there. A severe thunderstorm warning has been issued for your location. There's Weather Call Next Gen. It's like having Dan Scoff in your house.
And you forget it's gonna happen, so it just catches you totally off guard.
Yeah.
And so I can see somebody, like
In church, I've heard that too before. It's kind of funny.
and it's like, wait a minute, that's me. No,
From
could
your
you
weather
imagine-
authority team, here's a severe weather update.
Could
Or
you
here's a
imagine
weather
though,
update.
like if somebody was
Yeah.
doing something, so let's say like, they're being careful, maybe carrying water from somewhere, something that they don't need to jump, they don't need to, freak out, and then they hear your voice unexpectedly and they just jump and
Uh-huh. That would be hilarious. Honestly, we need to film this for real this weekend.
oh my goodness.
Wouldn't that be good?
So hear me out. I guess
Oh
If-
man, working out. Can you imagine? You're on the treadmill. You pick up your phone, and then it's like I'm right next to you. You could have so much fun with that. That would be a great promo. Well, but what were you saying, though,
Well,
Blaze?
and just think now we've got augmented reality with glasses. So you could take things to another level and you could videotape you right there giving a weather update. So you are there with the people. Before you know it, Dan Scoff is everywhere.
That could get you a little bit. I can get you a little crazy right there. Imagine you're like looking for a towel in the bathroom and walk out of the shower. Yeah, it could get pretty crazy. We're having a good time for sure.
We're waiting on this SPC risk.
We're just trying to kill some time. I like that. You can go a lot of places with that.
New service, Dan Scoff.
It's not happening. So good question, Dwayne. Let's bring it back to real life and sanity here. There is a hail threat. In fact, all probabilities are on the table, including the potential for large hail. You know, we never even looked at those significant hail parameters. We should. Let's look at it. I'm going to bring it up here in a second.
Sounds like Blaze is having a good time. I am. When I'm not being quizzed. When I'm being quizzed, it's a different story.
I got to throw in a quiz
I'm
every
like,
now and then.
I'm sure people are on that was on the first time that I was on your live stream.
Oh, the photograph?
Yeah.
You were just learning it, man.
I know,
It's understandable.
I know, but it was
You're not
funny.
gonna get it the first time. There's no doubt about that. All right. Let's look at this. This is the significant hail parameter, and it's updating, it's populating. Yeah, there's definitely some hail potential.
Oh, this is funny.
What?
Today. Did he say tomorrow?
Who did?
I guess Dwayne.
I might have. Did I say today? Or maybe you said tomorrow.
No, I think he said.
Is there any big
hail threat tomorrow?
That's push-ups, Dwayne. No, I'm just kidding.
And then Thomas says, "Today, Dwayne. Today."
It is today because it's after. Yeah, my goodness. So here is a look. Well, I'll just show you what we've got. Maybe this will update while we're there. Nope, still not.
Oh man.
So this
Come
is
on.
what I personally think. If we go into here,
Okay,
what?
that's
What's
an
up?
interesting comment.
What?
Imagine going to a restaurant and eating dinner, wondering what the waitress would say, laugh out loud, to a phone talking about severe thunderstorms.
It'd be like, I got Dan Scoff in my pocket. All right, here's what I'm
I got
gonna
the
do.
man.
Add Earth polygon. We're gonna do a curved edge.
It might even get you a free dinner if you think about it. You never know.
This is what I think the enhanced is going to be. But it didn't look at all like I wanted it to.
We just went significant.
Yeah, right.
'Cause it's like,
That's like everything. I'm gonna adjust this here. Personally, I would, if I was SPC, even with the latest, I would go right
The
here.
SPC really waiting until exactly 1 a.m.
I'd make it an avocado. I know, and it's really quiet. They don't do that, but oops. I have to put that on the drape group here. Hold on. There you go. Now you get to see it.
Dan the
That's
man
what I would
Scoff.
do.
Yep.
That's what I would do. I would have that maybe just a little bit slightly farther north. I would not put it in Benton County. Yeah, we do. We absolutely do have a video pushing about it. In fact, check this out.
I think I've started a new thing. Dan the man.
Dan the man.
That's what you're going to be called from now on.
Well,
Dan the man.
here we go. Let's see. Bring this up. What? Okay, hold on.
Oh, I think that.
Aha.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, you know what I'm gonna have to do here? I'm gonna have to do this. Watch, I'm gonna remove that. Gonna add to stage. Stop screen. All right, I'm gonna go to add.
Come on, we got 9 minutes. Watch it. Watch him wait till like 1:15 a.m.
There we go. Here you go, right here. Storm Track 360. This is our 479 first by yours. Watch all of our newscasts streaming live, and we've got original content and programming. It's all located on our streaming TV channel, 479 first. Let me show you how to get it. You're going to scroll down all the way down to the search button, Once you hit the search button, you're going to dial in 479. That 479 first should pop up immediately.
Actually,
That's
sometimes
what
it
our
doesn't.
app looks
So
like.
you gotta
Channel
make
that
sure.
you'll
But,
be able to
there
add
it
to
is.
Roku, Amazon
Download
Fire
it.
Stick, as well
To a
as your
streaming
Apple
channel.
TV. Once you open that app, you'll be able to get breaking news, weather headlines, and in-depth sports.
And guess what? We didn't have the good microphones at that time. So when
We
I
did
turned
not.
sideways, you could barely hear it.
From Pig Trail Nation.
Now-
So happy streaming, everyone,
Now
and
you get
enjoy
to hear me,
479
unfortunately,
first.
all the time, including in your car or when you don't least expect it. So 479 first. Nice. Very cool. They've got it on there. All right. So that's what I think the risk is going to look like. This is Alex Hall spamming the refresh button.
Come on. We got 7 minutes. Maybe we should check Twitter.
No, this is going to be the fastest.
This will get the fastest.
Yep. The College Edu page will be the fastest by all means.
Okay, real quick, before we before we know,
Oh. What do we know?
are we thinking? Okay, because we're kind of back and forth on this.
Now, honestly, I think that, this polygon. Okay, so first of all, hold on. I got to do something real fast.
Do you foresee the enhanced?
That's
upcoming
what I'm
update?
doing here. Let me show you. I got to remember where I had that. Miscellaneous textures. Huh. Where would that be? I don't remember where I had that.
At this point, we need Dan Scoff T-shirts and keychains. Don't forget about hats and drumsticks. I'm just saying.
I don't think we'll have a moderate. I don't think it'll be moderate. I think it'll be enhanced at the most. But that's what we're looking at. Where is my? Yeah, I don't know. Aha. Nope, that's not it. I'm looking where the hatched area is. Where is that texture? Where did I make that? Let me see here. I could maybe find it right here. Ba-ba-doo. Aha. Where is that texture? Border and fill, significant, stenciled.
I am in the center of the slight wrist.
I don't know.
Ain't happy about it. I took a break and came back. That line is booking it.
Yeah, it is. But there's additional storms that are popping up, and that energy is moving in. Now, remember, over time, the low-level jet's about to kick in. That's happening right now, today. So additional storms are going to be developing. But
What if
this is what I think the risk is going to be, or at least should be, by the end of the outlook. And maybe even, honestly, I don't know if it needs to go that far west, honestly. I think it may be more like that.
what about east? Any east?
No, I think it'll outrun the instability, but I'm trying to get
So
like
like for,
texture.
for my Clinton people, you don't think Clinton will be in the enhanced? It's gonna be close.
I don't. No, I don't. Possibly, but I don't. It'll be close. Man, I don't know where I put the. I can't find it. I'll have to find that texture. I don't know where it is.
Dan Scoff merch.
Checkerboard.
I'm
probably.
telling you,
There you go.
let's do it.
Hatch,
Oh, nice.
hatch checkerboard.
Think they will hatch the risk? Yes, probably.
Not the first out. Not the first one. Alex, how much are you spamming the risk outlook? You know what? Let's do this. We haven't shown you the 7-day. Yeah,
That's
you never
true.
seen the 7-day forecast, so we could show you that because
Too much.
we're going to break the SPC risk.
Just
Here's the
whole
7-day
server
forecast. So we
crashes.
do have an alert day for today.
Today.
Not going to make me do push-ups, Blaze.
Today.
90% chance of storms. Best chance will be in the morning, followed by an additional round in the afternoon. Got storms on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday in the mid to upper 70s. Kickoff swinging in there, but looks really nice for the Razorback game. And enjoy the rest of the week after this system comes through. I do think a little bit of rain for Blink 182. Are you a big Blink 182 fan? That's a no.
No.
That's a no. You can just be honest.
Yeah.
You don't have to tell it like it is. I mean, you don't have to tell them what they want to hear. Tell them truthfully.
I'm gonna have to go listen to the band.
All the small things, truth, care, truth.
Did you just break the
brings.
camera?
No, I didn't. Oh, I did. I think I did.
You just broke the camera.
Blink 182. It is. I did. I broke it. Did I? Sweet. See if I can bring that back. Yeah, you broke it. It's pointed on you.
But you're the one kind of hitting on the table. Here, let's hit on the table and see if it kicks back on.
Nope. But I can get it back on. Watch. I'll just do this. Webcam properties. Here's what we'll do.
Just deactivate and reactivate.
Yep. We'll just deactivate. Whoops, I can't do that way. What did you do?
That's so weird. It just like
It didn't like me singing Small Things.
no, it didn't.
Say it ain't so.
We'll
I will
blame it-
not go.
we'll blame it on
Turn
the
the
8-ball.
lights off. Carry me home. Na, 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 na,
I've never heard of that song.
na, na, na. They actually have a bunch of songs. Good
Is that their
songs,
most
too.
popular song?
That's one of their most popular. Yeah.
What is like their most popular that like everybody knows?
All this. Well, apparently not everybody.
I'm the only one that doesn't.
Yeah. So they have some other songs here. I'll tell you. One More Time's popular.
One More Time?
All the Small Things. They've got What's My Age Again? What's my age again? What's my age again? Yep, that's a real popular song. I Miss You is another one.
I don't think I've heard it.
First Date. I'd play them, but I'd get immediately Facebook copyrighted. Yep. It's finally 1 a.m. Adam's song. You can see a bunch of people are definitely Blink fans. So I'm going to the concert. That should be a good time. But I do think there's going to be some rain. Yeah, now we got backups of the system. So that could be what messed up the camera.
Possibility. That's weird.
Do you know who Travis Barker is?
The name sounds familiar, but I'm gonna say no.
We got to culture this guy. Does Pink ring a bell? Do you know Pink?
Yes, yes. Okay, Pink. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Pink's
Okay.
significant other,
Oh, okay.
drummer,
Okay. I just know Pink.
a motocross rider.
I just know Pink.
He does a lot of motocross. Alabama Baker's daughter, tell him. He's married to Kourtney Kardashian. Is he really? Huh, didn't know that.
Interesting. Now, I have heard of Alabama. I do know the Alabama band. So, not that bad. Help him.
But wasn't Travis Barker ever married to Kourtney to I don't know.
Hey, it's 101. We surely got an update now.
Maybe not.
Oh, Alabama Barker.
Okay, I'm wrong. I'm actually wrong. Corey Hart.
His
Carrie
song's all
Hart.
over TikTok.
I don't know. I'm lost. I thought that was Travis Barker.
No, not to Pink.
I'm wrong. Well, that's a popular song.
But the good news is people know that I know what Pink is. Okay,
I
so
do know
that's-
Blink 182, but wow.
If he has TikTok, he has probably heard I Miss You. Okay, probably so. You're probably right on that because I do have TikTok. Used to be very active on it.
Carey Hart.
Used to watch.
Didn't
videos.
he ever? I almost. Okay, here we go. Married 3 times. He is a drummer, though. I got that right.
But he's not connected with Pink.
Nope. I'm wrong. That's 10 push-ups for me.
Looks like
That-
they kept it about the same for the Outlook.
Oh, brother.
Are you serious? Did
Yep.
we really wait this long?
I knew they would.
We just waited this long for.
That's, yeah. Motorcycle rider, tattoo artist. That was, I'm lost. I know weather. I don't know. I don't know current events. So we'll just leave it at that. All right. Let's look at the latest risk. There is
Drum roll.
nothing new. Nothing to see here. There we go. They did. They kept it about the exact same.
What about tornado?
We'll look at it.
Well, I mean, they would have had to have won a 10%.
It's got to be the same, but
I mean, it has to be enhanced to be.
they did lift that northward though a little bit more, and
yeah,
also
they
shrunk
did.
it down. It does get to Clinton too.
Yeah, it does. You're right.
The wind and the hail. Ah, that's something different. Hatched area for hail. I'll do push-ups. Don't worry. Don't worry. I'll do the push-ups. I got it.
Everybody wants you to do push-ups. They just love seeing you doing push-ups.
Close grip. Diamond push-ups.
Hear me out. That'll be an additional thing that you can add to Weather Call Next Gen. It's Dan doing push-ups and giving the weather forecast.
Yeah.
That'll be $1 extra.
Pink and Corey Hart. I don't know why. I guess it's been late. Carey. It's not even Carey. It's Corey. It's not even Corey. It's Carey Hart.
I love this. Bad weather coming in and we're talking Pink.
Okay, so real quick, back to this, real fast, getting down to the nitty gritty here. We got
We're having a lot of
severe
fun.
weather
but
risk for now.
when it does come to severe weather, we lock in and we're.
Oh, all right.
I said.
You did. You said severe.
I feel like I'm
That's-
saying
that's-
severe,
that's-
but maybe I'm not.
I think you're saying severe. That's 10 push-ups for both of us.
Let's do it.
10 push-ups. And then we're going to shut it down.
All right.
We're ready?
Yep. Let's go.
Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. All right, Blaze. I like that. Those are good push-ups.
We did it. We got 10.
So let's read the discussion, shall we? Let's
do it.
actually read and see what it says, and then we'll shut this down. We'll shut this clown show down.
Clown show.
I mean, kind of. We got a little bit,
It's funny.
but we were trying to waste some time here
well, we had
time
we still
filler.
had like 950 people watching us.
doing push-ups.
So
in the meantime, all right, I'm going to add this here. Hey. You know, I get it. I understand why. And you're probably going to see that they have a lot of unders, like some
good job, guys.
yeah.
Let's go. This is my new workout journey. It started tonight. That is one thing I really need to get into the gym, hit the gym, and
Start getting swole.
yeah.
All right. So here we go. Let's read this discussion real fast. So make sure that's up on the screen. It is. All right. So severe storms are possible. Makes sense. You know, you never want to say that's because that's for sure. Positively tilted large-scale trough will amplify over the southern Rockies. That's what we showed you. 40 to 50 knot mid-level jet will aid in surface cyclogenesis along the southward moving cold front across the Kansas-Oklahoma border. Near the surface low, an early morning MCS will likely be moving into northwest Arkansas and southwest Missouri ahead of a 30 to 40 knot low-level jet. Isolated damaging winds and perhaps some hail will be possible with this initial activity. Some resurgence is possible through the morning hours, along with the Arkansas-Missouri border with diurnal destabilization, especially along the southern flank. Regardless, outflow from morning convection will likely develop into an east-west oriented effective boundary intersecting with a developing surface low from the Arkansas-Missouri border region into eastern Oklahoma. As the shortwave trough approaches, robust destabilization is expected over much of the warm sector,
owing to heating amidst 70-degree dew points, which is a lot. Afternoon mixed layer CAPE of 22,000 to 3,000 joules per kilogram should report rapid thunderstorm development
Wow.
along prefrontal surface trough, wind shift, and near effective boundary. Semi-discrete supercells are expected with a continued 30-knot southwesterly low-level jet helping to expand hodographs. Damaging wind and some hail, occasionally 2+ inches, which is the large hatched area, are possible with initial storms from eastern Oklahoma into northeast Texas, where low-level flow is more veered and lapse rates are steeper. Tornado potential. This is what people want to hear. Or maybe not hear. Conditionally significant.
Oh.
So that means that this is the potential for some stronger tornadoes, but they don't know when it says conditionally, that means are those ingredients going to come together? Is likely to be maximized near the effective triple point and modifying outflow boundary from northeast Oklahoma into western Arkansas. Here, backflow, low-level flow, effective storm relativity of 200 to 300 meters squared per second squared, and stronger low-level mesocyclones. Higher tornado probabilities may be needed as confidence in final boundary positioning and destabilization post-MCS becomes more clear. That's exactly what we were saying, weren't
Yeah.
we?
Where that warm front's going to set up.
And that's why we were saying I don't think at the initial 6Z outlook they're going to have an enhanced risk, but I think they will go with that over time. Then they have right here, upscale growth into one or more clusters is expected in the early overnight hours. Some risk for damaging winds and perhaps an embedded tornado or two may persist. However, increasingly strong low-level warm air advection ahead of deepness should support widespread thunderstorm development, which may limit instability.
Those morning storms.
I think that's, no, they were talking about the
Oh.
evening into the night right here.
Oh, yeah.
Upscale growth into the early overnight hours.
It's late. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, you're good. Which is tomorrow, since today is today.
Yes, right.
Okay, guys, that is it. That wraps it up. So what time does it get bad? Honestly, I think a little after 7 a.m. we're going to see some storms rolling in. Worst of the storms will be late morning into the late afternoon. So we're talking right around, oh, Jacqueline, you missed the show. And if you just got on here, I'm not going to recap everything. You'll have to watch it. But I'll just say this. Be on your guard around 11 o'clock tomorrow. Oh, boy. 11 o'clock today until about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, 4 o'clock in the afternoon
Do y'all
today.
sleep?
We're going to.
We will.
We got to go. That's it. Warm front will move north. We'll see what happens. It's all about storms.
We'll be watching it.
Hey, I got to give this a shout out. Josephine, I see you, girl. She is a Subway worker. Love her. She's amazing. College in Sycamore. Best subs in the business.
You said
got
Subway.
it. Subway. Yes,
All right,
absolutely.
all right. I'm a big Subway fan, so.
Oh, she will make us.
I
She's
mean,
a sandwich artist to the max.
How close is that from here? This TV station?
Oh, it's so close. Yeah.
Like walking distance?
No, it's College in Sycamore. So
Okay.
if you know where the McDonald's is,
Yeah, I think so.
right across the street from that.
Gotcha.
Right where all the darn construction is.
Oh.
Yeah. Hey, all right, Josephine. We'll see you later. Goodbye, everyone. Y'all are up way too early. I was going to say late.
That
but
was a good catch.
Y'all are up way too early. Wrap. See you guys later. Josh will have the latest. God bless. Have a good one. Adios. Auf Wiedersehen. Tschüss. Bis dann. See ya.